Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is Jeremy, and this is the Crew First Culture podcast. So, thank you very much for joining me today. Really appreciate that as always. Today's topic is something that has really been bouncing around in my head for a long time, months and months. And it's one of those topics that I definitely have some emotional ties to. It's one of those topics that I definitely have some uh, fresh I don't know what the term is. Injuries is kind of extreme. I've got some fresh wounds from, and so it it's going to be a test of self control for me. I'm going to have to be careful what I say, but yet still get the point across that I have to give. We'll see if I can make it through on the first time. I might have to stop and start over a couple times. But so basically you'll see the topic by now or the title by now, but it's we're not the rogues. And so the mindset behind this or the thinking behind this is, I don't want to take away anything from all these great people doing really, really great things under titles such as, you know, rogue firefighter, the hailboard misfits, outlier firefighter, things like that. Mark Van Oppen's huge with using the word rogue. Man, I get it. I love it. I get it. Even like the Corley Moore with the vigilantes. I know that kind of plays in with his firefighter vigilance, but still, uh, like I said, I don't want to take anything away from them, but I really want to test the thought process and the perspective on that. Because here's the thing is, to me, what makes us rogues, what makes us outliers, is it the fact that we are dedicated to the service that we are a part of, that we want to maintain our skills and our knowledge? Is it that we are, consistent with the oath that we took to protect and serve the people of our community? Is it the fact that we stand up and speak our mind for, you bettering the fire service? Uh, to me, that sounds pretty much like probably what the fire service was founded on. The Literally the foundation and the principles and the values that the fire service was founded on. No, I wasn't there when it was founded, or I don't know if there was even a particular moment in time that you could say this is when it was founded. Probably not. But just the mindset in general, those people that were involved in whatever the fire service looked like back when it first started, that was their mindset. You can't tell me otherwise. No, these people are doing things that nobody's ever done before. They're the pioneers of everything that we are doing today. So you can't tell me that they weren't going at it with the perspective of protecting and serving their citizens and learning how to do the job better, figuring out new ways to more make it more safe for everybody, make it, the equipment they were using, make it more functional. You can't tell me that that wasn't their mindset. So to me, if we are truly the rogues, if we are truly the outliers now of the fire service, which I'm going to tell you right now, if that is truly the case, I am very, very saddened by that statement. Absolutely saddened, maybe even I throw the word sickened in there because it's truly a sad place to be if the people that your community have put in place to protect them are not thinking on these same lines. It's sad. But anyway, to go back to where I was at is at what point in time from those early days of the fire service to today, when did that switch? I've already just briefly talked about their mindset and their priorities and the responsibility that those first firefighters took on. It shows that that's the mindset they had. So if it's not the mindset that the fire service, air quotes in general has today, that only the outliers have today, then when did that switch? What made that switch? I don't think that's the case. I think what the true underlying factor that has contributed to this is that those people that are the true rogues of the fire service, the selfish people, the closed-minded people, the weak leadership, the arrogant, the ignorant, those people have manipulated the service to the point to where we now think that they're majority, but they're not. They're not the majority. Truly, when it comes down to it, it's just words to me. I don't care what people call me. If they call, you know, the people that oppose what I'm doing as rogues or outliers, or they call me a rogue or outlier, I don't care. I am totally comfortable in what I am doing. I am totally comfortable in the message that I have, the message that I've been given, and the message that I share. I am totally comfortable in who I am and what I have to give, that none of it bothers me. Yeah, it beats me down when I am attacked, or when things are done to me or said to me in a way to almost rob me of some of this passion and this drive. Yeah, it hurts. And it definitely, it sucks the wind out of my sails for a while. But I feel like each time it happens, I get stronger and I care less about those situations and those opinions and those viewpoints, because I know those opinions and those viewpoints are absolutely worthless. They're not doing anybody any good, especially those that we serve, especially those that we serve with. We know what is right. And by that, I mean, we know that we have to keep pushing the envelope. We have to keep changing the game. Quit playing their stupid games and change the game. That's why we're here. We can't depend on the techniques and the skills and the equipment that made the job doable 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Yes, some of that may still be around. Some of that may still function at high levels. But I would quickly argue that it is a very small percentage. Everything changes. Everything should get sharper. Everything should function better over time, using technology, using, better techniques that people spend hours and hours and hours just smoothing out the rough edges, just making it a tiny little bit better. I'm seeing stuff now in classes at these conferences and things outside training that I promise you, nobody ever thought about 10, 15 years ago. But it's because people like us, those rogues, as they want to call them, those outliers, the renegades, the vigilantes, the misfits, it's because we continue to push the envelope. We continue to grow and learn and develop our skills to become better every day, to push each other to become better every day. So again, I don't care what you call me. You could call me insubordinate and a terrible fire captain, station officer. You could say that I am an awful follower, which I will absolutely guarantee I will agree with. Not that I'm proud of that. It's something that I want to be better at, and I have been working on it for a couple years now. You can call me arrogant. You can call me whatever you want to call me, but I don't care because I know I am doing right. When I look at the reasons for the things that I am doing and for the things that I support, I feel good because I know it is right. I might not be right. I don't know everything. I'm not standing on a platform saying, listen to everything that I say because I know everything. I'm not saying that. I am saying, listen to these people out here preaching what they have, listening to the message they have to share, learn from their skills that they have evolved over time and perfected, learn from their experience. Why has that gotten to be such a lost art? The next time I hear somebody say, well, we've always done it this way, or this is the fill in the blank, the way, this is the Oklahoma way, this is the Funtown City way, whatever, it makes me want to throw up because basically what you're saying is this is how I learned how to do it 20 years ago, and I don't really want to learn how to do anything different. I don't want to put the effort into doing anything above what I've already done. I've already passed in all my seniority points. I'm good. You can work your little voodoo on these newer people and see if they want to follow you. But I know how to do the job. I'm so tired of it. There's not one firefighter out there that can sit and relax and be good with where they're at for any decent amount of time. You will be irrelevant quicker than you can even imagine. You have to stay in the game. So, does that make us rogues? Does it make us an outlier to the fire service because we want to make ourselves better? Because we want to be as prepared as possible for whatever is coming? Because we want to be in good shape so that when we're called upon, we can do those jobs? It's pretty sad if it is. It is. It's very sad. But you know what? I'm good with it. And I respect these guys and these men and women out doing things under these titles. And I have nothing negative to say about it. It's almost like their rally cry, and I love it. I love the word rogue. I don't know. I just something about that word. I'm drawn to some of these terms myself because it's almost like that's something for me to stand behind. Because honestly, there's a lot of people out there that don't have that support. They are, if you want to, you know, tear it down to small little microcosm, they are the rogues or the outliers of their departments or their crews. There's so many people out there that don't even have a partner to bounce things around with or to hold each other accountable for. So yeah, I can absolutely see that. But again, it doesn't matter if we want to stand behind the title of rogue because it gives us something to fight for, it gives us some pride, it gives us some separation from those that are going to take the other route, the selfish, arrogant, the ignorant route, then that's great. Let's do it. Whatever it's going to take to keep us pushing forward. You know, like I said, I've got to be really careful with what I say. The last time I got into some pretty big trouble at my department was probably 4 years ago, and it wiped me out. It literally wiped me out. It took me probably at least 10 months before I could just feel like I had something to say again. You know, I hardly recorded any podcast episodes at that point. I couldn't sit down and write anything when just before that it was just pouring out of me. It sucked the life out of my drive and my passion for the job. Now I'm looking at another similar situation. And there were several days last week where I'm thinking to myself, here we go again. You know, how long is it going to take this time for me to snap out of it? How long is it going to take for me to mentally recover from this? And then thankfully some great friends and some great content online has really pushed me to say, not this time. They've taken a few days already, but that's all they're going to get. You're not going to get anything more from me. You will not take anything away from me beyond what I have already lost. Because I will gladly admit that that time I gave up. I could have fought for it, could have done what was necessary to keep it, but I didn't. I was beat down. I was, for a short term, broken by the situation. But I'll take a few days over and over and over again over 10 months of being broken and 10 months of being, having the message just sucked out of me. And again, you know, I'm to blame for some of that because I allowed it to happen. I stayed in that moment for that long. But this is too important to let it slip away that much for that long. We cannot allow this to happen. And I don't know what the answers are. I don't know that there are answers to fight this. The only thing I know out of personal experience is I have to keep pushing. I have to keep sharing my message every chance I get. I have to keep pursuing that daily growth. I have to keep pushing and chasing that purpose that I am here for. And when doors are shut, slammed in my face, when people are standing in my way and putting up all kinds of barrier, that's great. Sometimes it's all right to keep pushing. Some of those barriers we can knock down and we could keep going. But you know what? Sometimes it's just time to find another route. Sometimes when those doors are shut, we need to put the irons down and start looking for another way. Because a lot of times we get so honed in on I want this to work. I want this to work. I want this to succeed. I want this to succeed. I will not quit. I will keep pushing, 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 pushing. And you're just spinning your wheels and you're just losing every ounce of motivation and drive within you. When if you just stopped, as my great friend Tuna in the last couple episodes say, if you just stopped, take a couple steps to the right or take a couple steps to the left and look around and see what other opportunities are out there. See what different kind of perspective you can get. That may be exactly where you need to go. And no, that's not quitting. That's just collecting yourself and pushing and working until you find the right path for you. That path's already laid out. But if you think that you are going to know where that path is without truly exploring the opportunities ahead of you, you're not ever going to find it. Sometimes we have to fight through obstacles. Sometimes we have to learn the lessons in life because of these fights that we just banging our heads against the wall over and over and over again. But sometimes we have to look around and see what other opportunities are out there that we're missing because we are sitting here banging our heads against the wall over and over again. While great opportunities that we were made for are just right there, just over our shoulder. If we just take a step back, take a breath, figure out what's truly going on here. Is it really worth the effort over what reward might come from it? Or is it time to look elsewhere? Because there will always be an elsewhere. Always. Don't give up. Just reposition yourself. Sometimes those fighting positions, they're great for a while. But if you get flanked or you get overrun, they're not any good anymore. They become dangerous. They become a detriment to the fight. So you have to reposition yourself. Find a better fighting position and get back in the fight. Pretty proud of myself right now. I don't think I said anything that's going to get me in super trouble. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that you feel what I'm pushing out there. This is one of those messages where it 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 truly comes from deep within me, and I don't just want people to hear it. I want people to feel it, and I want people to know that we are making a difference. I truly love and respect all these people out there fighting under that flag of rogues or outliers or rebels or misfits or whatever you want to call yourself. I'm with you. But I want to someday see a fire service it doesn't consider us those titles. We once again see those of us doing what we're doing as just people who are doing the job that we are supposed to do. People that are just taking on the responsibility that is truly a part of what we do. And start seeing those that aren't. Start seeing those that sit in the recliners and pick people off one by one when they start feeling bad about themselves. Start, you know, spreading gossip and all this stuff that is killing the morale of the fire service. We need to start seeing them as the outliers one day. Until then, let's go. I'm I'm I am a rogue. I am an outlier. I'm a rebel, a misfit, and everything else in between. Because if that's what's going to make us better, I'm on board. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it so much. Hope to have a couple really, really good episodes with guests coming here pretty soon. And until then, like I said last time with Tuna, I feel like it's time to change it up a little bit. And I'll probably slip and say the old outro a couple times, but we will not lower our standards because they refuse to raise theirs. Thank you all. See you soon.